Today I'm working on this 67 Scout 800. More precisely, I'm dismantling it. Because it's going to the scrapper, this body is coming off and going on my plow truck down there. To put this in service, I'd have to completely revamp the brakes, new lines, rebuilt or new wheel cylinders, and it would need to have a dual chamber master cylinder. This is a single cylinder chamber, so one brake line or one wheel cylinder or something goes out, you lose all your brakes. The engine is a 152, the one on my plow truck is a 196. That's not such a big issue with the gearing and all. And of course I'd have to take the body off anyhow to get the body work done. I'd have to install my plow rig from the plow truck onto this one, which I don't feel like getting into. So I figure, since the body's coming off of this one anyhow, and the body's about in pieces on that one, it's just hanging on by a wish and a prayer, that what's left of the body on the plow truck will come off and this body will go on it once it's done, and hopefully I'll have a nice actual road legal plow. Though I doubt it'll see much of the road in the winter time because I don't want the salt to get at it. Okay, so I've not really seen any decent videos on taking the body off of one of these properly. I saw some guys yanking one off with another Scout, but and I've done stuff like that myself, but I actually want to save this body. So we disconnect stuff. Like first I started with the parking brake cable, which I wanted to save. I could have just clipped it, but I can't find one, and it was good, so that was a prick to disconnect. Speedometer cable. Oh, what else? The wires to the starter and the alternator, I took those off and labeled them. I also took off the wires going to the coil and oil temperature or oil pressure sender, maybe that's the temperature sender too, right down there. There was a wire going on the intake manifold. I think that's your water temperature, but I got it labeled as such anyhow. Labeled all the wires, not really a whole lot of them. The radiator hoses are just crap, so I sliced them. I took out the radiator. The steering column, you get up under the dash, and it's kind of a pain to get to at first, but it's not too bad. I don't know if you can see, but up under there, you just run along the steering column and you'll find it. It's sort of a clamp. Take this gauge panel loose. I didn't have to disconnect it and everything like that. I just kind of popped it out of there. And then there's a clamp that goes over the top and the bottom of this steering column. Then there's two bolts on either side of that and nuts. You get them good and loose, and you can pull your steering column right back good enough to get it out of the steering box. You have to be careful because there's, you can't really see it, but there's two little square pieces on the end of the steering column that engage into the box. Well, this thing right here, whatever. I mentioned taking the radiator out. Well, I did. That's a good idea. I took the feed line going to the carburetor and the feed line going to the pump for fuel. So those are loose. The heater hoses, I disconnected the top one, but it was garbage, and I just sliced the bottom one. I'm going to get new hoses for it. The master cylinder, that was easy to get out. You just take the two bolts, and I clipped the line because the lines on this are shot. And then it just slipped right off. Clutch linkage, there's a big bar right here. This is your clutch linkage here. This goes in toward the engine. It'll be sort of sitting in around like that. I don't know, you probably get the idea. But you unbolt that, and you got a little pin down in here you got to get out, and that'll come out. But after you get the master cylinder out, it is kind of tight in there. You have your accelerator linkage, depending on which model. On this one, it was just one little pin going down to this arm right here, and you take that pin out and it slides right out. So that's loose. Because that arm there, that comes with the body. So that's got to be free. Not sure if I missed anything. I don't know if I missed something. Tell me about it in the comments. But it's pretty well ready to unbolt and pick the body up. So to do that, get the bolts right there in the center. You got one right up here. And you walk back a little bit, right just about to the front seam of the doors, and you have one right there, which obviously isn't even holding anything. And you got one exactly on the other side from it. And you get back a little further to about the back of the door, and oh, it's a little dark. You could probably see it right in here. There's another one, and same thing. You got one on the other side. Yeah, it's actually a little brighter over there. Same thing, one on the other side here, all the way to the back. You got one here, and you also have two underneath. Let's see if I can show you them. Yeah, right up here, all the way on the end of the truck, and then there's one on the other side. 9 bolts in total hold the body down. And you might have some other little stuff, like I got a hanger that I got to torch off for the exhaust, but that is pretty well all the stuff you need to get the body loose, as far as I can tell. You know, if I get those bolts out, which all except the front one I'm going to torch. The front one looks pretty nice, so I can take that off with a ratchet. And then I'm gonna try to lift it and see if it comes up. Just see if it comes loose. I don't want to lift the whole damn thing up in the air without someone else being here with me. But we'll see if it comes loose all right. Okay, and we're done. I have the body separated from the frame. It's still, of course, sitting on the chassis, but you can see I got blocks at the corners, just holding it up a little bit, just enough so that I know it's loose from the frame, and it seems to be staying fairly straight. You can't really, kind of hard to tell, but damn rust. You can see under there, this floor is all over the place, but this cross member is a good deal off of the frame. I want to get the body up a little higher so I can get some blocks, geez, somewhere else. But for now, the frame is loose from the body, and all it is that disconnecting that stuff I said earlier, and get rid of those 9 bolts, and you pretty well got her. But that was my goal for today. If I get any more done, I might put it on video, I might not. But, well, what I'll put on video is when I get it actually put up on the barrels or whatever platform I decide to put it on. Yeah, I didn't show the action of it happening because it really wasn't much to it except me swearing a lot as I'm getting burnt from the torch going overhead, you know. So you don't need that. If you know how to work a torch, then you'll be able to get this, no problem. Alright, take it easy guys, and thanks for watching.